Live from Atlanta, the historic East Cobb Baseball Complex is the site of the 2015 11U Travel Ball National Championship game between Georgia's East Cobb Astros and the Storm from Arkansas. And hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining us right back here on TravelBallSelect.com. This, the championship game in the 11U classification. We've made our way through 5 days of play in Metro Atlanta. And here over the next hour and a half or so, we will crown a national champion. Mason Morris going to be on the mound for the Arkansas Storm, donning the baby blue or the electric blue if you prefer. Team Arkansas out in the field first. Obviously, the East Cobb Astros, not too hard to pick out, are they? Wearing the old school Astros uniforms from the late 70s and into the 1980s. That's right, the Astros from Georgia, the visiting team in this ball game, but of course, playing on their home field. No doubt you can hear the crowd beside us here in the stands. The number 7 team in America coming into the national championship, the Arkansas Storm. First pitch for Morris is ball 1. Taking on the East Cobb Astros, who came into the national championship as the number 13 team in America. Morris kicks and fires a 1-0, which is hit on the ground and foul down the right side. Well, if you've been joining us all day long here on TravelBallSelect.com, again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying with us. Leighton Lackey, Hayes Woolley, and Dylan Lesko. Your guaranteed 3 in the top half of the first inning here in Atlanta. Morris kicks and fires. A curve that catches the outside corner for called strike 3. Well, Leighton didn't like that call too much, but the problem, young man, is that the 2-strike pitch, the one that was called strike 2, was on the same exact spot. So you got to adjust. If the man in blue behind the plate's going to have a wide strikeout, wide strike zone today, you got to be ready. Hayes Woolley now into the box, and he takes a strike as well. The East Cobb Astros finished pool play, outscoring their opponents 29-18. Ground ball down to third and past Uterman, then to left field for a base hit. East Cobb 2-2 in pool play, 2-2 in pool play, and they played in a really pretty tough region. 2 other ranked squads, number 35 in America, Jackson Coyotes out of Western Tennessee, and then out of North Texas, the Dallas Mustangs, number 37, the Midland Warriors and Team Atlanta. That's Ohio and Georgia. Obviously, we're both also in that pool. Dylan, let's go to the plate now. This guy, some kind of player. As is always the case, these Astros are loaded, just like every team in the national tournament at this point is. Once you get down to about Final Four, you've got just almost an all-star team. Arkansas, a finely tuned machine, but the Astros, boy, they will hit the ball around the park. And they're really driven by 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup. Swing and a miss, a curveball. Yeah, but East Cobb 2-2 in pool play, outscored their opponents 29-18, and because of that, just the 2-2 record, they came into bracketed play, the number 14 seed, out of 16, 14 out of 16. And the 16 teams in bracketed play were divided into 2 8-team double elimination tournaments. Wild throw down to first, popping up and headed down to second, and now headed for third, surprising the defense, and being gone down at third. Not sure about that call. It was quite a chance that was being taken by Woolley. Boy, Hayes never slowed up as he hit the second base bag. He had third on his mind the entire time. Strike. So East Cobb came into bracketed play, the number 14 seed out of 16, although number 13 in America. So you knew that they would probably be able to do some damage. They beat the Dallas Mustangs in a regular season. In a pool play matchup, beat them 10-3. Then beat the Motor City Hit Dogs out of Michigan 8-4. then beat Titans Baseball Blue, another Georgia club, 13-5, and then won their bracket with their fourth consecutive win, this time, well, for the second time, over Michigan's Motor City Hit Dogs. 2-2 in pool play, 4 consecutive bracket wins for East Cobb. 21-12, they've outscored their opponents in the tournament play with their 4-0 record. 29-18 again, and a 2-2 pool play record. And of course, in the bottom half of the first, we'll give you the recap of the week for Arkansas and a walk to Lesko. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get right into it. Arkansas, the number 7 team in America coming into the national tournament. Number 1 in bracketed play after their 4-0 pool play session where they outscored their opponents 37-10. Swing and a miss by Tyson Benford, one of the great power hitters in youth baseball across America. Regardless, from about 11 to, I'd say, 13, he's one of the top guys. Chop foul. Arkansas 13-5 over the Memphis Tigers in their first matchup of the bracketed play. Then beat Ironmen Baseball Club out of Indiana 8-2. Beat Team Rawlings Barden out of Texas 9-6. And had a rematch with them right back here at noon on field 4. Swing and a miss by Bedford. He's gone via the strikeout. And the inning comes to a close. 2 men reach in the top half of the first inning for the East Cobb Astros. But Georgia can't push them across, and we stay scoreless through a half inning on TravelBallSelect.com.
A picture-perfect day for baseball here in the Cactus League. Got some speed on first here. Let's see if they test Posey.
I don't mean to spoil this for you. He's gonna be out. Let me tell you how I know. Because I was up and firing in less than a second. Because I called the heater up and away. I looked him in the eyes and I knew he was going. It doesn't matter if it's spring training or game 7. Second base.
In time. What a throw by Buster. That is mid-season form right there, folks.
Is always mine. I will.
Bottom half of the first inning now. Arkansas, their first shot at the plate in the 2015 Travel Ball National Championship game. And a strike to Rhett Ketchum to start things. Patrick Johnson is on the mound for the East Cobb Astros. Right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball that sweeps outside. That's a pretty good battle here between Johnson and Ketchum to start things. Lost him. And now Mason Morris. Ketchum at first with really good speed. Patrick out of the stretch. A ball. So, continuing the recap for Arkansas into this championship, let's start over the bracketed play again. Again, they were 4-0 in pool play. Outscored their opponents 37 to 10. 37 to 10. First the pitch. Won their first 3 ball games of bracketed play, beat the Memphis Tigers 13-5, beat Indiana's Iron Men's Baseball Club, stolen base, 8-2, and then beat Texas Team Rawlings Barden 9-6. That was a big deal because that sent the Texas team down into the losers bracket, and 2 games later, well, they were playing each other once again. And Texas then beat the Arkansas Storm, forcing a winner-take-all ball game inside of the top bracket, which Arkansas was able to win. Wild pitch, or a pass ball if you prefer, one way or another. A runner's reached third base via a walk, a stolen base, and what I think is going to be a pass ball. That one was right into the glove of the Astros catcher. Morris just needs contact now. And he's walked him. Now this is going to become a very hairy situation here quickly for Patrick Johnson and Georgia. Ty Rhodes to the plate now, and the first one to him. He squares, gets down a bunt, but pushes it hard to the first baseman. It'll drive in the first run of the ball game and move a runner down to second. A sac bunt RBI for Rhodes, and it's 1-0 Arkansas, bottom of the first. Now Utermark. Judd's been picking some slick third base. Also scorched a couple of balls down that left field line, whether fair or foul. Astros may know that defensively. They got their third baseman, Archie, playing well behind the bag at third. Check the runner. Back safely. All 3 times that Judd came to the plate in that second ball game against Texas, their win, all 3 times he had a ground ball down to the shortstop. A little bit of a rarity you don't see much. Runner's breaking. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third, and he's in safely. It's now 2 men gone with a runner at third. And here's cross jumper. Mason going to come out of the ball game and get a courtesy run in for him. Runner in for him. Ground ball at third. Cross the diamond, Archie for the out. Jumper retired 5-3. But a couple of leadoff walks. First 2 men reach via the walk. And the first man works around on a stolen base and a pass ball, and scores eventually on the sacrifice bunt by Ty Rhodes. 1-0. Arkansas out in front through 1 on TravelBallSelect.com. probably means that it's definitely that.
Now you're trying to keep it.
It's all good. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
What?
Off, on, off, on, off, off, on, on. Number 7 team in America leads number 13 in America. Arkansas over Georgia 1-0 as we start the second frame here in Metro Atlanta. Brennan Wilkins, Patrick Johnson, Nick Rule. Middle part of the lineup for the East Cobb Astros. Fastball right on the outside corner. 2-1. Lefty with good average numbers and good power. Now when he catches off the end of the bat a little bit, down to short. Throw across the diamond. For out number 1 to start the inning. That's Rhodes at short. First pitch, a strike to start Patrick Johnson. That one off the outside corner. Morris' fastball has been catching that outside corner to the lefty batters. Today's pitchers facing each other right now. That curve didn't. Off the outside corner that time, the fastball missed. And Patrick Johnson earned himself a walk. Third base runner to reach in 6 men to the plate. So far, Georgia with a couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks, a single and a ground out. And here's Nick Rule, the second baseman. Oh, that one bounces up there. Wild pitch going to let the runner get down to second. Well, that could be big. Could be really big. Left field, falling base hit. Will they wave him? Nope, going to hold him up at third. That's a wise decision. Now the ball gets away. He's coming to the plate, and Johnson scores. Oh, my. Nick Rule not going to get an RBI on that single. He drops one into left field for a base hit, and then the relay throw gets away from the shortstop Rhodes. And Johnson, who was hopping off the bag at third, waiting for a potential misplay, shows his baseball acumen by being ready and scoring a run, tying the game at 1. Now Jason Walk, the diminutive second baseman for the Astros. Now I must mention, as I was just bragging on Mason Morris for the control of his fastball, especially on the outside corner to lefties, conversely, quite oppositely, if you can say that, oppositely? Well, I just said it, so let's go with it. He has not had control over his breaking ball, his curveball, his off-speed stuff to the outside corner. Comes back with a fastball. That's a good bunt. Could end up as an infield hit. Walk beats it. No, does not beat it out. The throw beats him. Call it a sac bunt because you feel like you ought to, but I'm going to tell you something. With the speed of Walk, that was as much about getting the runner across, yes, but also a real opportunity to try to reach with an infield hit. Here's Bryce Archie. Oh, beautiful curve. Finally, Morris is able to find the grip on that breaking ball and drop it on the corner of the plate that he struggled to find so far. 0-1 to Archie. Fastball that stays high, gets past the glove of the catcher. And advancing down to third is the courtesy runner, by the way. My mistake, I missed that. I believe Rule was lifted out. No, Nick is still out there. Nick is, in fact, still out there. He's now down at third with 2 men out. Swing and a miss. So a ground out, a walk, then a base hit by Rule put runners at the corners for a split second because the relay throw got away from an Arkansas fielder just as the runner was stopping at third. He then scored on that wild throw, tying the game at 1. Walk sacrificed the base hitter to second, and he's moved to third on a pass ball. And that's your inning. Amazingly, half of that recap from memory. Morris delivers. Breaking ball that's just above the letters. That pitch elicited a lot of emotion from both sides. 3-2. In the dirt, and he walked him. That's going to bring Coach Rhodes out to the mound to have a conversation with his right-hander. And now Boston Forbes to the plate. Boston in the biggest at-bat of their season. Runner breaking down to second, and Archie's got it stolen. By the way, defensive set, forgive me for not mentioning it earlier, defensive set right now For the Arkansas Storm, it's Straisner, Tosh, and Ketchum from left to right. First the pitch to Boston, and he takes a strike. Again, it's Straisner, Tosh, and Ketchum in the outfield left to right. Utermark, Rhodes, Allen, and Jumper on the infield third to first. Again, Utermark, Rhodes, Allen, and Jumper. Behind the plate, Ketchum. On the mound, Morris. Good stop by Cole behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Inning over. But not before a couple of walks, a base hit, and, well, a bad relay play defensively for Arkansas. We make our way to the bottom of the second inning in a 1-1 affair.
A picture-perfect day for baseball here in the Cactus League. Got some speed on first here. Let's see if they test Posey.
I don't mean to spoil this for you. He's gonna be out. Let me tell you how I know. Because I was up and firing in less than a second. Because I called the heater up and away. I looked him in the eyes and I knew he was going.
2-1, and runner goes.
It doesn't matter if it's spring training or game 7.
Posey's throw.
Second base
In time. What a throw by Buster. That is mid-season form right there, folks.
is always mine.
Travel Ball Select, a nation's baseball, have partnered to create the most competitive series in youth baseball. The Travel Ball National Championship Series played here at the East Cobb Baseball Complex in Metro Atlanta. If you think your team can compete, go to TravelBallSelect.com or Nations Baseball to enter a qualifier for 2016. 135 teams this year, plus from more than 25 states have already or will already come to this year's events. Top competition, true class play, true team play. The voice of reason in travel baseball. Visit TravelBallSelect.com for further details. Colby Allen to lead things off the home half of this second inning. Arkansas with a single run in the bottom of the first. Georgia with a single run in the top of the second. That's where we stand. Defensive set, I realized last inning I didn't give the defensive sets for each team. So, defensive set for East Cobb in a moment. That one to the backstop. Woolley, Lackey, and Walk in the outfield. And that's Woolley, Lackey, and Walk from left to right. Archie, Lesko, Rule, and Wilkins on the infield from third to first. Archie, Lesko, Rule, and Wilkins. Behind the plate, Boston Forbes, and he's receiving the dealings from the right-hander, Patrick Johnson. Two count. Walked him. Holy smokes. A couple of really, really close pitches there. On 2-2 and then on 3-2. And Allen, pretty good pitcher in his own right, able to use his eagle eye and draw the base on balls. Here's Carson Tosh. He squares in that breaking ball. That's kind of a mixed play. That ball was a beautiful pitch by Johnson, or had great movement on it anyway, but it was well outside. Tosh did a great job of even getting his bat on it to try and lay down the bunt, although he maybe should not have even offered at it. So kind of a mixed bag there, good and bad for both teams. Tosh with an 0-1 on him. Oh, and he offered. 0-2. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That looked like a slider. Don't think it was a fastball. Had a little bit of bend in it. No way Pat Johnson throws a slider, is there? Had the bend of a breaking ball, or a little baby curve. Or maybe even more precisely, a changeup. It had far too much giddy-up on it. Tosh will wait for an 0-2, which he pops up down the right field line. I'm going to tell you something. That's got a chance to drop in fair. And it kicks off the glove of the second baseman. He'll fire down to second, and they will get the force. How about that? And now Cole Ketchum. Ground ball down to second. Stopped by Rule. No play. Infield single for Cole Ketchum. He really hit that one solidly. And here's Brady McGee. Big moment for both teams here. Brady did get a piece. Oh, fielded by Johnson. There's one at second, on to first. Safe. A 1-6 force hit into by McGee. And now Straisner. Noah got a chance with a 2-out hit to break the tie. Let's watch for a pass ball or a wild pitch. That one stays high. Two and 0. Red Ketchum is on deck. The leadoff man in the lineup. And the absolute last man that Patrick Johnson wants to face with the bases loaded. I can tell you that right now. Two-0. Stays high, I believe. You know what, actually, that was probably inside a little bit, because I think it was right at the letters, maybe at the bottom half of the letters, which would put it in the strike zone, of course. I think that was inside. 3-0 pitch. Lost him. You know, for Patrick Johnson, that is already his 4th walk of the ball game. So 4 walks. in 10 batters. And that'll get us back to the aforementioned Rhett Ketchum. Rhett was the first of the men to reach via the base on balls. Strike with a fastball. Oh, he got him to pop up. Right side, Wilkins has it. And the inning is over. Boy, oh boy. That was an inning of dodging bullets for Patrick Johnson and the team from East Cobb, Georgia. Tied at 1 through 2 on TravelBallSelect.com. Make sure you stay with us for an interview with Coach Walk from East Cobb next.
All right, I'm here with Coach Walk. Coach battled from 2 losses in pool play, coming into the championship game today, same spot where this Arkansas team was last year. How are you feeling about your team at this point?
We're feeling good. We just got to stay composed and make sure that we are aggressive at the plate, and everything will be good.
Right. Are you guys exhausted from playing all day today, do you think?
No, I think they have some energy and life to them. They'll be okay.
And they sound like it back there.
Yeah, they do.
All right, awesome, Coach. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, good stuff there from Megan Trammell. Thanks a lot. Alongside Coach Walk, these Cobb Astros coming out of the winner's bracket. They haven't lost in days, have they? We'll get back to the top of the order. Leighton Lackey. Hayes Woolley and Dylan Lesko. You're guaranteed 3 for Georgia in this inning. Lackey, a strikeout victim in his only other plate appearance, as I mentioned, to start the ball game. Morris deals. Oh my goodness. Curveball like that from an 11-year-old, are you kidding me? I'd have been wailing at that pitch. Another one for strike 2. Beautiful, beautiful pitch there. One-two coming from Mason Morris to Leighton Lackey. Alliteration. Mason Morris, Leighton Lackey. 2-2. Expecting the curveball that time. Great job by Leighton. Stayed back, waiting for the curveball. The young man showed his baseball acumen by staying back and waiting for that pitch and serving the 2-2 right up the middle for an infield hit. Now Hayes Woolley. Squaring. Taking ball 1. Hayes delivered the first hit of the ball game for the home-standing East Cobb Astros. Home and location only. Visiting team in this championship game. Bunt attempt. Headed foul. 1-1 count. Got the stirrups, by the way. Look at Hayes Woolley wearing the stirrups, by the way. Not just the socks that you're accustomed to seeing, but this guy, it's not enough that he's wearing the 1980s Astros uniforms. This young man sporting the stirrups. If you're younger than about 30 nowadays, you don't really know about the stirrups as well as some fans, players, participants. Yeah, that's probably a little too old. Maybe 25. I don't know. One ball game, top of the third. Runner breaking. Leighton sliding in feet first and safe. Stolen base for Leighton Lackey, the Astros center fielder. And he's now in scoring position for the fine bat handling left fielder from Georgia. And a fly ball to right going the opposite way. That ball could drop in. Nope, right fielder coming over. Good job by Ketchum to circle underneath it. For out number one. F9 on Woolley. And now Dylan, let's go. Ground ball, third base side and foul. Millisecond later, and that's a line drive down the left field line. Dylan walked in the first. Runners breaking to third. Fastball that's high and tight on the batter Lesko, and because of that, Ketchum had to come flying out of his crouch behind the plate and had to catch that one. Where the stumbling Lesko was, had no shot of throwing out Lackey, so now it's a contact play, potentially for a run, with arguably their best bat handler all around, power and average. Sweeps outside. What a matchup. What a matchup. East Cobb Astros, Arkansas Storm. Low. This is one of those matchups for those of you who don't follow it every day or don't follow it religiously or regularly. If maybe you're just watching because you've got a loved one in the ball game or a loved one's loved one. This is one of those big-time, highly touted matchups, these two programs. Swing and a miss. Two really well-known programs. Arkansas won the 10U national championship just last year. And so now, much of the same team has come back in 2015 in the 11U, trying to win a second consecutive title. Swing and a miss. Lesko's gone via the strikeout. That is a monumental out to produce the second out of the inning for Mason Morris. But he's not out of the woods now. Don't misunderstand. Here's Tyson Benford. Takes one high. Benford got to be about 5'8", pushing about $170, $165. Swing and a miss. As we work our way up to the national championships here as a broadcast team, we spend some time in the spring and early summer, of course, broadcasting the affairs of the travel ball season. We'll start to get more appearances together as we get closer to the national championships. Makes sense, of course. Had the good opportunity to see a good bit of East Cobb throughout the last month and a half, 2 months. This kid hit a home run. Benford, I mean. Hit a home run, I don't know, maybe a month ago when I saw him. That I promise you, with the wooden bat, mind you, had to have been every bit of 300 feet. Back into the screen. This kid, for his age, a tremendous power hitter. As is Wilkins, the kid on deck. That's the thing about this team, is they're really built with balance. They've got great speed by some guys, great contact from other guys, incredible power from a couple of guys. And of course, they got guys like Patrick Johnson and Dylan Lesko and that have a combination of the two. Big pitch here. Got him. With a fastball. With a runner at third and just one man out. Mason Morris steps up, gets a pop fly out to right, and consecutive strikeouts versus arguably the top two East Cobb Astros hitters. A tremendous performance by Morris to get out of the top half of the third inning. And we stay at 1-1 on TravelBallSelect.com.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. And the only anti-glare product that I use is Warrior Black, and you should too.
Morris, Rhodes, and Utermark. Home half of the third. Mason walked back in the first inning, but maybe the accomplishment of the ball game so far was via his right arm just a few moments ago. If you walked away from the action for a few moments, Mason on the mound for his Arkansas club. Just last half inning, giving up an infield single and a stolen base to the leadoff man, then it was able to induce strikeouts out of the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for East Cobb. Johnson kicks and fires, and finds the outside corner. Right fielder started in and then had to go back. That was walk. Misread that one a little bit off the first blush of the bat. Turns into an uneventful left 9, but it was almost a disastrous play for Georgia. And here's Rhodes. Ty, a hard ground ball down to second. Throw to first. Boy, oh boy. Down the Arkansas shortstop. Now Utermark. Judd. Strikeout victim as the second out of the first inning. This one hits into the gap in left center field, but the center fielder comes over. Lackey's got it, and the inning is over. So, like seeing a Yeti, we just had a 1-2-3 inning. That's just how rare it is to have a 1-2-3 inning here at the National Championships. To the fourth we go, tied at 1.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing. I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Wilkins, Johnson, and Rule. Top half of the fourth inning. We are now halfway through here in Atlanta. Deep center field. Ball still carrying back to the track and the wall, and it is caught. Oh, just your routine fly ball to center field. Well, I was talking about their power a few moments ago. They've got as good a back-to-back power duo as there is in the country. Wilkins starts the inning with the F8. And here's Patrick Johnson. Wilkins, by the way, now 0 for 2. Patrick trying to get his first tally in the scorecard. 1 plate appearance, no at-bats. Of course, a walk is what I'm referencing. Oh, great. And I mean great glove play down at first by Jumper. Although we lifted his head just a tad bit. 3 unassisted. Johnson's retired. So he falls to 0 for 1, and here's Nick Rule. Nick singled back in the second inning. When the Astros scraped across their only run of the ball game. Wilkins started that inning as well with a ground out. Johnson walked. Rule singled. Walk, sacrifice, bunt. That produced the first run. That does actually not catch him behind the plate. Either got the wrong lineup or they've made the change. McGee is now behind the plate for Arkansas. And he receives that third out of the inning. Bottom half of the fourth. Still 1-1.
This is Nations Baseball. Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
So that will end it.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
A picture-perfect day for baseball here in the Cactus League. Got some speed on first here.
Cross jumper. Hard smash down to third. Can he beat it out? He does. Throw pulls Wilkins off the first base bag. He did a great job athletically of catching that one. And all in one fluid motion trying to tag the runner. He's unable to, however. Jumper going to reach on the infield, a single. And now Colby Allen. Bottom of the fourth inning. Thanks for joining us back here on TravelBallSelect.com, everybody. Here with your play-by-play for the national championships. I'm Chris Mooneyham. This the title game in the 11U classification. Good bunt. He'll be tagged out by Johnson. Good sack bunt there by Allen. Push the runner down to second base. And now Carson Tosh. Carson with an RBI opportunity. Georgia versus Arkansas. Two teams that were 8-3 total this week. Out of play. Arkansas Storm. Oh, that's bracket. No. Math failing me. Math. My arch nemesis. Math and I have not been on speaking terms since division. What grade was that? No matter. Two teams combined 14-3. Gone on strikeouts is Tosh. 14-3. Again, Arkansas 4-0 inside of pool play. 4-1 in bracketed play. 3 straight wins, then a loss, and then a win to win the bracket. So 4-1. Won their first 7 overall, pool play and bracketed play. Then the loss, then their 8th win. As for East Cobb, Georgia, 2-2 in pool play, and then 4 straight bracket wins. So 6-2. So 14-3 between the two clubs. Ground ball down to short. Looks like out number 3, and it is. Ketchum retired on the 6-3 after his infield single back in the second. And yet again, we're through 4, tied at 1 on TravelBallSelect.com.
A picture-perfect day for baseball here in the Cactus League. Got some speed on first here. Let's see if they test Posey.
I don't mean to spoil this for you. He's gonna be out. Let me tell you how I know. Because I was up and firing in less than a second. Because I called the heater up and away. I looked him in the eyes and I knew he was going.
2-1, and runner goes.
It doesn't matter if it's spring training or game 7.
Posey's throw.
Second base.
In time. What a throw by Buster. That is mid-season form right there, folks.
Is always mine.
Noah Strassner, the new man on the mound. As we enter the 5th inning here in Atlanta. Straisner, right-hander, coach's kid, taking the mound for his Arkansas Storm. Again, thanks for joining us back here on TravelBallSelect.com. Number 7 in the country. Out in the field right now, the home team for today's contest, the Arkansas Storm. Number 7 team in the country, rankings-wise, coming into the national championships. And after pool play, coming into bracketed play, Arkansas was number 1. The number 1 seed. They're taking on Georgia's East Cobb Astros, 13 in the country coming into the national championship, but struggled in pool play a little bit and came into bracketed play as a number 14 seed out of 16 teams. So a lot of people looked at East Cobb and said, boy, oh boy, what's going on with them? And some people said, oh, don't be fooled. Don't make a run out of the bracket and surprise some folks. And sure enough, that's exactly what they did. East Cobb got through bracketed play without a loss, while Arkansas suffered 1. Came back to win an elimination game themselves. Oh, bounces up to first, and that going to be an error. Walk going to reach on her knees 6. First error of the ball game. No, I'm sorry. Check that. Second error of the ball game. First on Georgia. And now Bryce Archie at the plate. Bryce a walk and a stolen base to his credit. It's getting late. Remember, for those of you just tuning in, 11-year-olds in travel baseball play 6 innings. 6 innings. So this is the equivalent of the top half of the 8th inning, to use a baseball, a normal quote-unquote baseball reference, or a Major League Baseball reference if you prefer. This would be the equivalent to the top half of the 8th inning, so it's getting late. Good speed at first. That's why he's been checked a couple of times. Popped it up. Caught by Straisner. Throw to first. Double play. That's big. That is big. And now Boston Forbes. Boston 0 for 1. Struck out to end the second inning. And a strike. Boy, we're headed for a fantastic finish here in Atlanta. I'll tell you what, we haven't had many hits in this ball game. We're just at 1-1. We've kind of sped along in this ball game. Not supposed to say that. I just jinx things. We'll be here for another hour, and the final will be 10-9. That one sweeps outside. Haven't tallied up the numbers, so bear with me. I'll have to count them straight off the scorecard here. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 hits for Georgia in the ball game. A walk to Forbes. See, here comes all the runs. Fourth walk issued to a Georgia man. Again, though, just the 3 hits in the ball game for Georgia. Had base runners all over the place. It's been a good, entertaining baseball game. It really has. As for Arkansas, first the pitch. Talaki back at the top of the order. That one bounces up there. Runner going to stay. As for Arkansas, let's see. Again, I'll have to count them off the scorecard here, if you'll forgive me. Just 2 hits. Infield hit in the 4th. Infield hit in the 2nd. But they've had base runners all over the place as well. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. 4 walks in the ball game. Wow. So in other words, those numbers almost identical for each team offensively. How about that? Just realized that. Both teams with sacrifice bunts and sacrifice flies or flyouts that have resulted in guys advancing. So both teams with darn near mirror images of each other. Offensively. And I suppose pitching-wise as well, and defensively. Both teams with an error apiece in the field. Biggest thing is for Georgia, their run literally came on an error. And Patrick Johnson reached via the walk with one man out in the second inning. He was standing at third. Ground ball, deep short. Great play by Mason at short. Does he have time? Yes! Now that is a championship caliber defensive play for the man who started the inning or started the ball game on the mound. This inning he was replaced. He goes out to the shortstop position and makes the finest defensive play of the ball game so far, and the one that ends the top half of the final frame. Bottom half coming up, tied at 1 in the national championship game.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. And the only anti-glare product that I use is Warrior Black, and you should too.
Brady McGee, Noah Strassner, and then back to the top of the order in Rhett Ketchum. The hour drawing late. Bottom of the 5th inning. Starting to get more and more dramatic as every out is collected. Fair ball down the left field line. McGee headed around first. They're going to send him to second. No relay. Leadoff double. Bottom of the 5th. Again, for those of you just joining us, or those of you who've been watching and didn't hear my mention a little bit earlier, this is a 6-inning affair. 6 innings here in the 11U classification. So basically, in this 5th inning, we're in the bottom of the 8th. Even if you're not a big baseball fan out there, you know games last 9 innings. Regular Major League games, adult baseball games last 9 innings. If you're a family member out there watching, not a big baseball fan, don't know the rules, it's basically the bottom of the 8th inning. Squaring, not offering, ball 1. Leadoff double for Brady McGee. Noah Strassner now at the plate. McGee with his double now, 1 for 2 by the way. Strassner with a walk in the second. Takes again, 2-0. So in other words, if Arkansas can scrape across a run here in this bottom of the 5th, they know they'll be 3 outs away from the national championship. Nice. And that's going to stay fair. And he's going to reach. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Tremendous bunt there by Strassner. First 2 men have reached in the 5th. Timeout called now. Boston Forbes comes out from behind home plate. He's Cobb. Astros catcher comes out. Sets the defensive assignments for his teammates. Holding the runner at first, of course. Playing up a little bit at short. Just a skosh. And even with the bag at third. Deep drive. Right field. Hooking down the line and foul. 0-1 count on Rhett Ketchum. Needless to say, this is a dangerous situation because, you know, it's the bottom of the fifth of the national championship game. But also dangerous with straight baseball strategy, with runners at the corners and nobody out, and team's leadoff hitter at the plate. So if you're East Cobb, you got a lot to think about right here.
Don't go to sleep on a pick, Brady.
Catch him, walk to start the ball game, popped up to the first baseman to end the second. Throw to first, runner back. Oh, 0-1 count on Ketchum. Johnson sets, or looks in, now comes set. Out of the stretch, 0-1. Stays high, runner's breaking on a delayed steal, and he's got it. I believe that was a delayed steal. A little funky looking there. I don't know if he stumbled or took off late. Now Coach Walk going to come out and have a conversation with his team. He's lifted Johnson out of the ball game. We'll take a quick break and come back with the details on the new Georgia Hurler next on TravelBallSelect.com. Back in Metro Atlanta for the 2015-11U Travel Ball National Championship game. Georgia's East Cobb Astros and the Storm from Arkansas. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning, the next to last inning, tied at 1. The home team, Arkansas Storm, at the plate. Leighton Lackey, the new man on the mound for the Astros, and this one shot foul. I believe I may have said bases loaded a moment ago. If I did, I completely misspoke, and I apologize for that. Runners at second and third with nobody out. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Playing in the infield, by the way. Lackey comes set. Leighton fires, and that one fouled away left side, and out of play once again. Book obviously not closed on Patrick Johnson. He still owns the 2 runners on base for now. For now, his numbers look like this: 4 innings, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, gave up 4 hits, and 1 run which was earned. But again, the book still opened on him, of course, as far as the runs and earned runs. Lackey set, lefty deals, fastball high. Again, numbers on Johnson: 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run earned, walked 4, and struck out 2. Off the corner. This is a national championship type moment right here. Left field. Coming in, making the catch. Great arm out there in left field, and he's going to head back to third. Well, an F7 by Ketchum, and that's what you wanted, was the fly ball. Rhett's job right there is to make solid contact, try and put the ball into the outfield, give his man a chance to score. He caught that one just off the end of the bat, just a tad bit too much. And here's Mason Morris, who takes a fastball high and away, 1-0. Mason walked in the first, hit a fly ball out to the right fielder in the third and lost that battle, so he's 0 for 1. Ground ball at short, backhanded, throw across the diamond, And the throw gets away. One run has already scored. A second runner's coming to the plate, and two will score. 3-1 in the fifth. And so now a certain buzz after the cheering on the Arkansas side. That certain buzz remains on the home stands. They know they're 3 outs away from the national title. Center field, looking for another run. That one gonna fall in for a base hit. First and second, one man out. Now Utermark. Well, don't go anywhere. 2-run lead into the final frame. Not a big lead when you're playing the Astros of East Cobb. This reminder. In the sixth, in the top half of the quote-unquote final frame, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, your guaranteed men in the final frame. Woolley, Lesko, and Benford. So this thing a long way from over. Outside corner. Oh, left center field. This could be trouble. Coming over, center fielder's got it. Oh, got a chance to double off the runner. And he's safe. He beat it back. Not only did he beat it back, but I don't think they were on the base. I think his foot might have been off the base there. I was screened out from the home plate umpire, so you'll have to pardon me missing it. Just an F8 for the Arkansas third baseman. And here's Cross jumper. Cross 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Lackey's job is to get these last 2 outs and get out of the inning. Double by McGee to start the inning. And you know, anytime you see that in this 11U classification, it is trouble for the team out in the field. And a chance for glory if you're at the plate. So McGee doubled, and Strassner hit a ground ball that he was able to beat out for an infield single. Ketchum with the F7. Runners at second and third, and just one man out. Mason then hit a ground ball down to the shortstop. He was going to let the 1-run score from third, so either way they were taking the lead. But his throw down to second, one-hopped the first baseman. Went down into the fence by the dugout. The second runner came from third and scored. And that's where we stand. 2 runners have crossed in the inning. A single and an F8 followed the error. And ball down to short. And the inning is over. 6-3. But again, 2 runs come across in the bottom of the fifth. And the Arkansas Storm now 3 outs away from a national championship for the second consecutive year.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. And the only anti-glare product that I use is Warrior Black, and you should too.
start the 6th inning with Hayes Woolley, Dylan Lesko, and Tyson Binford. Woolley 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. Noah Strasner trying to collect 3 little outs, and you see the young man on the mound. Actually, I don't know if you saw him. I don't have a monitor in front of me here at the table, but I was staring at Strasner, the right-hander on the mound for Arkansas. He took a big, deep breath a moment ago. His team with a chance to pull off what will be a certain rarity in the history of travel baseball, to win a national championship in 2 age classifications in back-to-back years. La Miranda has already done it this year. The La Miranda Knights did it in the 11U, 12U classification in back-to-back years. 11U this classification last year, and then won it in the 12U classification this year. And now, Arkansas trying to do it in the 10U last year and the 11U this year. And he lost him. But this might be the hardest 3 outs this young man will ever try to collect. And that's not me being just a hyperbolic broadcaster. In all seriousness, this East Cobb team is one of the toughest youth baseball teams I think I've ever seen. Dylan Lesko, a walk and a strikeout on his scorecard. Strasner fires. And that one in the dirt. Popping up and headed down to second is Woolley. Well, here we go. Arkansas 3 outs away from the national championship. Georgia 2 runs away from forcing the ball game to continue on. Ground ball down to short. Morris fires to first for the out. Runner was breaking to third. The throw down to third gets away. And now he will decide to post up at second base and stay just right there. And now Tyson Binford to the plate. Instant offense. This guy with all the power in the world. Runner at second, 1 man out. Back into the screen, 0-1. Thanks for joining us back here on TravelBallSelect.com, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham with the play-by-play for the 11U 2015 Travel Ball Select National Championship Game. 0-2. Two. Sweeps outside, now 1-2. Did he offer? Yes, he did. Out number 2. And so it comes down to Brennan Wilkins now. Georgia first baseman, a ground out to short and a fly out to center. 0 for 2. Strasner kicks and fires. High and away. Strasner looks in, gets the sign that he likes, and brings home the 1-0. Make it 2-0. Back in the middle infield. Swing and a miss. I'll call it a foul ball, actually. So Woolley going to hang left and head back to second base. 2-1 count. If Wilkins reaches, Patrick Johnson's on deck. Off the outside corner, it's 3-1. Behind the bag at first, even with the bag at third. Moderate depth, middle outfield. Middle infield, I'm sorry. Deep and right. Walked him. Walk, ground out, strikeout, and walk in the top of the final frame. Georgia trying to scrape across 2 runs, keep their season alive and their national championship hopes alive. Down 3-1 with 2 men gone in the top half of the final frame. Again, walk, ground out, strikeout, and walk. Woolley, Lesko, Benfield, and Wilkins. And now Patrick Johnson, who walked in the second and grounded out in the fourth. Noah Straisner fires. Fastball that stays high. Set. Oh, checking the runner at second. I'm going to tell you what, that was awfully close to a ball. One 0. Strike on the outside corner with a fastball.
Be ready, guys!
1-1. Oh, foul ball there. Make it 1-2. So Arkansas now 1 out away. 1 strike away. Noah Straisner looks in, gets a sign that he likes, and brings home the 1-2. And it's shot into left field, coming on and making the catch for out number 3. There it is. The Storm from Arkansas, the 2015 11U Travel Ball National Champions. Want to remind you fans that we will have the live trophy presentation here on travelballselect.com. We'll also score ourselves an interview in just a few moments with the head men from the newly crowned 11U champions. We'll try to get Coach Rhodes. Maybe we'll be able to get Coach Straisner. We'll see who we can land for our post-game interview. But for now, we sign off. Again, stay tuned. We'll keep the visual feed and some audio working as we continue on. But for me, the play-by-play duties, that is, I'll draw my day to a close. Want to remind you folks that we will be right back here for the national championships. One more national champion to be crowned in the 13 and 14U classification here at the East Cobb Baseball Complex coming up at the end of July. Want to remind you one more time, the national championships in 13 and 14U here at the East Cobb Baseball Complex going to be broadcast live right here on travelballselect.com. That, the last week of July, July 31st, I believe, is National Championship Day in 13 and 14U. You see Rick Goff out in the middle of the field, giving the trophy presentation to the national champions and the runner-up. Once again, for our entire crew here at the East Cobb Baseball Complex in Metro Atlanta, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us for an Arkansas Storm National Championship performance. The 2015 11U National Champions, to be precise, right here on TravelBallSelect.com. turn this on now? Not yet. Okay. I'll let you do that then. And I'm going to go ahead and go out there to grab him whenever he's ready.
Oh, I need a camera person out there, so don't grab him too quick. Johnny's coming. He's right there. Or Jarrett, I'm sorry.
Double limit.